How long do you think? There are university courses that teach that because you're white, you were born and raised racist. Because you're male, you were born and raised sexist. There's people that believe my political position is a hate crime. There's people that believe someone's political position is justification for violence against them. You're a Nazi. It's okay to punch Nazis. Some people believe if you disagree with them, you're a Nazi.
This is not peaceful protest. This is anarchy. They're smashing Bank of America. Oh my God.
Notice the black and red flags in the crowd. These are ANCOM flags. Anarcho-communists. They're fucking communists. Communism is objectively worse than fascism. Even Hitler's fascism. And no, I'm not going to provide evidence to support that assertion. If you don't know this, then you haven't done the required research. And I'm not going to do your research for you. When you're a communist, everyone who isn't a communist becomes the enemy. They want to make racists afraid again, but they aren't afraid of being racist against white people because you can't be racist against white people.
Anything about me. You literally just see, white. You claim I'm white and that you assume all these things about me. That's racist. You realize you're a racist?
It's not possible.
How is it not possible?
I can't be racist against white people. Well, racism is literally the suppression of a minority
Are you
group.
judging me because I'm white?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't like white males.
Why? So that's not racist? That's the definition of racist.
Is he yelling at me?
This is hilarious. Thank you so much for this YouTube
You're a misogynist pig.
How so?
Because you're a white male.
A woman at the Women's March in Edmonton doesn't agree? Better punch her in the face.
Get out of my fucking face. I will break your camera. You do not have the right to...
Whoa!
Let's calm down. Calm down.
You don't have the right to film me everywhere you go.
Equality. Richard Spencer shows off his Pepe pin? Better punch him in the face.
Neo-Nazis love you, but you're not a neo-Nazi.
Neo-Nazis don't love me. They kind of hate me, actually.
Following the KKK, neo-Nazi.
Those people don't like me,
Are you
to be
like
honest.
the hipster version of the neo-Nazi movement?
It's, Pepe's become kind of a symbol.
I don't agree with Richard Spencer, but I don't support violence against him either. Ari Paul of The Observer fully supports political violence. It's difficult for many to say out loud, but the violent attack against Spencer does not deserve condemnation. Those who don't underestimate the violent nature of white supremacy see these acts of intimidation, including the attack on Spencer, as self-defense. Well, the violence didn't come from white supremacists. The violence came from the ANCOMs, from the far left. Alt-right fans might rail against the attack, but they shouldn't be surprised by it. I'm railing against the attack. Does that make me alt-right? Is violence against me now justified? And you're right, I'm not fucking surprised. Weak-minded people turn to violence quickly. So weak-minded they can't even articulate an argument against a white supremacist. The left's anti-white, anti-male, racist, sexist position has become so transparent that so many have seen through it for so long that they just started ignoring it and voted against it. Now that people are no longer buying the bullshit and falling for the shaming tactics and capitulating to the demands of the far leftist ideologues, the only recourse for them is violence. So no, I'm not fucking surprised that bullies have started resorting to and justifying violence. And before anyone points out that this is two different groups of protesters, one present to protest peacefully and one there to start trouble, two things. One, no, it fucking isn't. It wasn't some black-clad, bandana-masked Antifa ANCOM piece of shit that punched Sheila Gunn in the face in Edmonton. And two, the supposedly peaceful group is justifying and supporting these actions, as can be seen when he's ushered away and consoled by the other protesters. The little shitheel punched a woman in the face at a women's rights march, and women are protecting him. I have friends on Facebook who support this. Maybe. Maybe they're just having fun with it, but I'm honestly a little afraid to ask. I don't want to find out that people I know and respect truly support political violence, because I will lose respect for them. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit if it's a Nazi white supremacist who thinks women shouldn't vote. If this is the case, the position should be so paper thin that it won't be difficult to defeat them through debate in the arena of open ideas. You'll easily sway everyone around you to the correct belief that the other is stupid. But if you throw the first punch, you lose the high ground and with it the argument. If you support the person who throws the first punch, you lose the high ground and with it the argument. With the seemingly growing support for and justification of violence against Nazis, the question is, how long do you think? The far left attribute the sociological opinions of racism and sexism to white males as a condition of their birth, and I don't see the difference in the logic attributing an ideological or political position to white males as a condition of their birth. So, how long do you think? Until all white males are racist and sexist morphs into all white males are Nazis. They already have their justification for racism and sexism against white males. All they need is a justification for violence. And it's totally okay to punch a Nazi, kick a Nazi, maim a Nazi, kill a Nazi. I'm a goddamn liberal. I hold goddamn liberal values, but I don't value circular logic, double standards, empty rhetoric, or political violence against anyone. And to the idiots, that makes me look like an alt-right white supremacist neo-Nazi. The alt-right called for a fight, and they got one. You picked a fight. You've been picking a fight. You're still picking a fight, and if they ever decide to fight back, you will lose. Oh, wait, they did decide to fight back. Not with fists or guns, but with their vote. And you lost. And until you get your heads out of your asses and stop supporting the ridiculing, shaming, and now violence against those who disagree with you, you will continue to lose in perpetuity. Let me ask the Antifas, the Ancoms, and the far left. I have Ukrainian ancestry. 6 million Ukrainians starved to death in the first decade under Stalin and the communist regime. Is this enough justification for me to go up to a protester who's waving some form of communist flag and deck him? How about I walk into a university and find one of the 1 in 5 social psychologists who's a self-proclaimed Marxist and take a bat to him? Is that justified? What if I shout Slava Ukraini while I do it? I'll let Carl Benjamin, known as Sargon of the Cod on YouTube, answer for me.
Political violence is utterly unacceptable, and supporting political violence is a shameful sign of one's personal failure.